Hey, listeners, from the Demystified Zone crew, thank you for an amazing 2023. In the spirit of North Korea, we'd love to invade your personal lives even more by asking you to ask your loved ones, coworkers, friends, babysitters to like, download, and subscribe the Demystified Zone podcast. Marshall will be proud of you. Hey, what's up, Dan?
Hey, Sug.
Welcome back to another episode of the Demystified Zone.
Yeah.
We are already in our second month of 2024.
Can you believe it? Time
what
flies.
happened? And I said that purposefully because in pre-show I can't pronounce February, apparently. Why is there an R in there? February. But we all say February, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
I've been saying the wrong word all week. But
you and my dad can't say.
Oh, he has a better reason than me.
That is true.
It's not his first language.
That's not.
All right, welcome back, listeners. We're excited to get into our first Ttuegunboricha of the year.
Ttuegunboricha.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that little yeah you put in there.
Thank you.
For those who are joining us for the first time, Ttuegunboricha just means hot tea. And you know we're all about the hot tea here.
Oh, yeah.
So we do this segment. We're going to go through all the latest hot tea in North Korea.
Yeah.
And we got a lot to catch up on because, we've been gone for the holiday break.
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming in now like a month and a half in of hot tea. So we should get
There's
right
a lot to cover.
Yeah, we got to get right into it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
let's
saying?
do it.
All right, Jay, hit us with number one.
North Koreans suffer in freezing winter.
Now, being from Chicago, we're no strangers to freezing winters. In fact, we just had some nasty temperatures. But I can only imagine what it's like in North Korea, which right now the residents are having difficulty heating their homes and staying warm. And usually they heat through kindling and charcoal briquettes, and they stock up in the autumn. But apparently, according to sources, North Hamgyong Province said that most people were unable to purchase enough of this kindling due to the high price of firewood, which climbed by 1,000 kpw from November to December.
Yeah, this is tragic. This is absolutely tragic. And my thoughts and prayers are for the North Korean people in this. I mean, I'm making fun of myself here. I can barely, like with full down jacket, leggings, I can barely make it like 30 seconds outside.
True.
In these temperatures.
True, we're soft. We think we're hardcore Midwesterners,
Yeah.
but we're soft. We're baby poop soft.
Yeah. So I can only imagine in North Korea I'm imagining you don't have a nice down jacket and you don't have, proper attire for this, and you gotta brave these winters. I cannot imagine that.
So it says that it reaches levels of minus 20 Celsius,
Yeah.
which to us is minus 4 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just in minus 10, minus 15.
Yeah. And that's not counting
ago.
the wind chill.
And I didn't go outside 1 second. For 1 second, I could even be out. That's instant booger freeze temperature.
Yeah.
Like your boogers freeze instantly in that cold.
It's unimaginable to think that, without proper heating. Yeah, crazy.
Okay, next one. North Korea launched hypersonic missile in 2024.
All right. According to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff, North Korea fired a suspected intermediate-range ballistic missile into the waters of the east coast of the Korean peninsula. Hypersonic missile flew about 1,000 kilometers, around 600 miles, at a maximum altitude of at least 50 kilometers, around 30 miles, before landing in the sea.
Upgrades? This is upgrades? Are we leveled up here in North Korea?
Yeah, I think.
So the analysts are saying that this changes the equation. Mm-hmm. They've said that before, and I'm not saying that's wrong. Mm-hmm. Obviously, when you go from bow and arrow to a rifle, that changes things, right? And I don't know if this is that big of a technology jump, but it sounds like it is. So some analysts are saying this will change the military equation in the region, meaning this allows them to bully and harass South Korea even more and get them closer to pressuring the U.S. obviously with nuclear attack, which they already can. They can reach us in that sense.
I don't know how much they could like scare South Korea even more. I mean, they can turn Seoul into a sea of fire as they have promised in the past. They can already do that. So what is a more accurate or powerful intermediate missile? I guess you could reach further south immediately.
And we've talked about this, how the South Koreans are kind of not numb, but a little numb to this, desensitized to this kind of news now because it's been so long, they're so close. Honestly, if I'm Japan, this is making me worried.
That's true.
Like Japan is an island right there. Mm-hmm. They can already reach them with the missiles they have, but to have something that's, I don't know what hypersonic adds to your arsenal, but it doesn't sound good.
What does hypersonic mean, Jay?
It's faster than supersonic. Essentially, when it comes to defense, a faster missile makes it harder to shoot from the sky.
Okay, so you just can't stop it. There's no.
It's harder to stop.
It's harder to
stop.
It's harder
Great.
to stop.
Yeah. So again, if I'm Japan, I would be scared or worried.
Yeah.
But hopefully, we don't go there, or they don't go there.
Yeah. It's all noise at this point. Same old stuff.
Same old.
Low-key birthday celebrations for Kim Jong-un.
Happy birthday, KJU. Belated. Speculated to be 40 this year. He's my peer. He's my bro. He's my classmate. My young. No, I'm his young, actually. I'm your young KJU. His birthday, usually in previous regimes, the leader would make a big deal and hubbub about their birthday and throw national celebrations and all this stuff. But surprisingly, KJU is keeping it quiet this year. In fact, so quiet that North Korea has significantly lowered the amount of quantity and quality of the candies they would give out on the great leader's birthday.
Yeah, boo-hoo.
Why gotta lower the quality? Quantity, sure, but why the quality? Come on, it's
Yeah.
give the kids some candy.
Yeah. So every year for all of the great leaders' birthdays, the government passes out candy and rice cakes, little snacks for the people, and a bag of rice at times. So the biggest celebration is obviously Kim Il-sung. Kim Jong-un is playing it humble here.
Which, by the way, okay, so this is interesting in itself because, as I mentioned, the previous leaders were not known to be humble. They were not low-key. They were throwing bashers every year, especially Kim Jong-il, his dad. But the funniest thing is, if y'all don't know this, how we found out about his birthday, it was none other than our prized ambassador, Dennis Rodman.
Happy birthday to you.
Yes, if you can hear that lovely voice, that's Dennis Rodman singing happy birthday to KJU in a guest basketball game in North Korea. What year was that? That was pre-COVID for sure.
Like 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Dennis Rodman let slip the great leader's birthday by singing happy birthday to him on this exhibition match in I don't know. Where does that rank with the Marilyn Monroe birthday song to great leaders? It's not even close, I would say.
Yeah, so that is very interesting that Dennis Rodman discovered this guy's birthday. But, so Dennis Rodman also gave an account of the behind closed doors celebration that the North Korean people don't know about, and is very lavish, right?
Yeah.
So for Kim Jong-un to say, be humble and say, it's going to be hard this year, so we better scale back. That's just a public celebration. He's partying behind closed doors.
Yeah, Rodman's back there. Rodman and crew are back there doing this.
Happy birthday.
Just very. That's such a creepy happy birthday song, by the way. I can't get it. I'm going to sing happy birthday that way to you this year.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I mean, Rodman, his account of that party was like they're drinking a lot, soju.
North Korean restaurants racist towards South Koreans.
As Korean food has become more popular around the world, right? I'm seeing kimchi at my Costco now, which is kind of weird, but amazing at the same time. Pyongyang has also taken advantage of this K-trend and actively opening state-run restaurants across Asia, the Middle East, and Europe.
Yeah.
And so what's happening, though, is that because of the UN sanctions and all the other just bitterness going on between North Korea and the South Korean allies. Visiting a North Korean restaurant offers a rare glimpse into the reclusive nation's culture, which is especially geared and focused on South Koreans. So basically, Koreans are being racist towards other Koreans in other parts of the world and not serving the South Koreans in these North Korean restaurants.
Yeah, they are banning South Koreans from their food. It's very interesting that I just can't imagine, like, there's a memo being passed out to these restaurants internationally, like, hey, if you see a South Korean, please be mean to them. Thank you. I mean, it's crazy.
Well, there was an official announcement here. It says that it warned South Korean visitors that they may be forcibly expelled from the premises upon identification.
Forcibly.
How do you tell a South Korean from a North? I feel like that's the start of a joke.
Well,
how do you tell a South Korean from a North Korean?
Well, it's very simple. North Koreans aren't allowed to, like, just roam the streets and get into these restaurants.
Maybe it's the knuckles too.
Yeah, the knuckles, exactly.
The hands. If the hands look soft and underworked, South Korean right away.
Yeah.
If they look like, they could, the Hulk.
Yeah,
the Hulk owns those hands. Then
they could fight if they've been
North Korean.
punching brick walls. Yeah, it's a very interesting move. It's very baffling that the government had time to think about, don't let South Koreans into these restaurants as their countries.
And I'm imagining, do you want to cut your customer base down that much? Like that must be harmful for business. I wonder how the business owners feel about that, but they might share that sentiment too. Who knows? I mean, being outside of North Korea and carrying the North Korean culture within them, they might have a strong dislike still for South Koreans. You know who's going to lose out no matter what is the Japanese. The Japanese are not going to be invited to anything because they're a little more easily identifiable.
Yeah, that's true.
And they really do not like Japanese people.
They really don't like Japanese people.
North Korea no longer interested in reunification.
So during a year-end party meeting, North Korea's leader warned the nation to prepare for further economic hardships in 2024 and gave orders to accelerate their war preparations against the U.S. Kim Jong-un encourages people to wage a, quote, more courageous and resolute struggle despite the ever-increasing challenges and difficulties in the new year. Yeah.
This is just more sad news, but is it surprising? I don't know if it's surprising. I mean, they had that big show during the Trump presidency when they finally met, right, at the border. The South Korean president, rather, and the North Korean president talked, which was unprecedented.
Yeah.
And they had talked about reunification, which was like the biggest gesture of being open in how many decades? Who knows? But now that door is closed again.
Yeah, with the new president, Lee name?
Yeah.
President Lee.
And honestly, it is sad, but I don't think that's a surprise. Are you surprised?
Yeah, no, I'm not. It bounces back and forth between warmth and coldness between the two countries. North Korea plays it both sides and has stuff to gain with either climate. So no, I'm not surprised at all.
This is a two-party dance. South Korea's new president, who's I think a little more on the conservative side,
hawkish towards North Korea.
Yes, a little more a more defined line in the sand for himself in Korean policy towards North Korea has made it very easy for North Korea to be like, okay, we're not doing this no more. We're not friends anymore, or fake friends anymore, right?
Yeah.
Even frenemies. They're not even frenemies. They've left frenemy territory into just straight up enemy again. Hopefully we get upgraded in later. Hopefully things change this year, right? That could change. We don't know.
Could you imagine the North Korean people like just waiting, hanging on Kim Jong-un's every word and waiting for him to just say for once that it's not going to be, not to prepare for hardship that year. He's always saying, let's prepare for hardship and this and that. When will they ever say, you know what, this year is going to be great?
Honestly, I think they're just so worried about holding their fake smiles during the announcement that they're not concerned about what the actual news is. It's more holding your breath and making sure no one else is telling on you at the time.
Yeah.
But you're right. When is there going to be a hey, this year
We have a surplus.
Hey, this year we got
Good
it.
candy.
Everyone's getting the good candy and a lot of it.
Yeah. It's. I'm sure it's just noise in the background at this point.
Yeah.
For them.
Well, hopefully things change. We never know. The tide could change again, and maybe reunification will be back on the docket.
Yep.
Chue, North Korea's next leader?
According to South Korea's spy agency, the National Intelligence Service, the 10-year-old Chue is seen as her father's likely heir apparent. In addition to being called Kim Jong-un's, quote, most beloved or respected child, this is nice for his other children, by the way, publicly saying that. Anyway, sorry.
Most loved.
Let me stick to the script. Photos and footage showing her accompanying Kim at public activities prove her rising political standing and closeness with her father, as analysts speculate that Chue is receiving training to take the reins of the Hermit Kingdom.
Everything is all up this year for Chue.
Yeah.
If we're down on candies for the kids and birthdays, and Chue is on the up.
Yeah,
She's one person that just can't lose right now. And
Yeah.
we've talked about her. We talked about her in last season's episodes. If you want to go back to that one, Chue is the crown. And this is we've always speculated about this. It's a little confusing. She's not the only child, as you've pointed out, and there are boys in that mix
Yeah,
as well,
interesting.
which is very. And I don't mean that obviously that could be misconstrued, but in Korean culture, especially North Korean culture, the boys are the God-given, God's gift to North Korea.
Yep.
And it's interesting that KJU has been highlighting her.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
I mean, she's super cute though, so she's great for PR.
Yeah, she's adorable. And yeah, it's very interesting that just in general, women have been taking more of a central role in this administration. And it's funny that, North Korea could have a woman president before America.
That's true. We're very close to that. Or they don't have presidents though.
I mean, head of state.
Dictators.
Yeah.
The first, she
Wait,
might
is
be
it?
the first woman dictator in the modern.
What's the female version of dictator? Is it dictatress?
I didn't know that
I
had
don't know.
a gender to that.
Yeah, maybe
that word.
maybe not.
Genderizing of that word.
Yeah.
I don't look at that, Dan.
Oh,
Just
sorry.
kidding. I don't know. It is interesting because that's not in their culture. They're not
Yeah.
trying to be progressive. Let's just put it that way. They're not trying to be like, look at us. We're so progressive. Women are doing all these things now. Or maybe they are and we don't know it or we don't quite understand it. But typically that wouldn't be their approach. Like even in every photo you see, you don't see women generals decked out like you do in every photo you see with her. Mm-hmm. There are women generals. I've seen them, but they're not as prominently displayed. But things with even his sister, right?
Yeah.
KJU's sister, she has been rising in the ranks, been outspoken, taking a lot of leadership.
Shots. Oh, sorry.
Well,
Yeah.
that too. Both.
Talking a lot of trash.
Yes, she's like the head trash talker to South Korea, and drum beater for the march of the army and the strength of the army and all that. But then now you also have Chue here, who's like now the pride and prize of the jewel of North Korea.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And honestly, everyone's speculating. Even the analysts don't even know what does this mean. Is she going to really be the leader? It's too early to tell. But what's for certain is that North Korea, especially the KJU regime, is not shying away from putting her in the spotlight.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
She's definitely hot tea all the time. She's at the top of the hot tea list. We'll be talking about her a lot more.
Kim Jong-un in tears as he called on women to have more children.
Oh, Jay, I love that read. Even Jay was in tears as he read that. You guys didn't see it. KJU. This is interesting. He was urging women in North Korea to have more children in order to strengthen the national power. And he did this at the National Mothers Meeting, which is really interesting. I wonder if we have something similar to this and what that would be. But they have a National Mothers Meeting, and he was quoted as saying, "I, too, always think about mothers when I have a hard time dealing with the party and the state's work. That was what his quote was, and he had
Yeah.
tears in his eyes apparently as he was saying this.
He cries a lot.
He's a sensitive guy.
Yeah.
He's a soulful man.
He's definitely cut from a different cloth from his predecessors.
That for
Yeah,
sure has
it's
been the consistent thing from him, but he's not scared to emote
Yeah,
out in
yeah,
public
for sure.
and show, what he needs to. Is that real? That's another question.
Yeah. I think this is very interesting from a global perspective because just across every developed country, birth rate is a big problem, right?
Yeah.
Countries are struggling with replacing their current population.
Yeah.
Like China, big time, is going on the offensive, like telling women and being a little forceful about it for them to have more children. And it's harder for people to have children in these industrialized countries because costs go up, right? You move to a city, you have less space, education, access to education gets cost prohibitive, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. But I find it interesting that in North Korea, a country that isn't industrialized as the rest of the world considers itself to be, that they were having problem with birth rates. I wonder why that is.
Well, to your point, other countries are struggling with this. Well, Japan is actually hitting like a crisis where their aging population is now aging like out, and there's not enough people essentially who are young, and the imbalance is becoming a problem on the island. I think in East Asian countries, especially with North Korea, so there's a lot of speculation here of why this is happening or the reasons why this is happening. Some is not speculation. So some of the facts are that, one, like in any country that is struggling with GDP and economy, the average North Korean family cannot afford to have children. They're already struggling on their own.
Wow.
There's not enough government aid to assist them. So if they have more than one child is enough. As we all know, I have 0, but you have 3, so you have enough for the both of us.
I do.
And it's struggle. Every time you add one, right? How much more is that? What's the X factor there for adding another child, Dan, for you?
It's it definitely takes away your joy a little bit. Yeah.
When you went from 1 to 2, how much pain did you feel or joy? Both of it. Factor in the net.
No, honestly, like with children, especially at that age, when they get older, a little older, it's different. But at that age, the pain to joy ratio, I think it washes out.
Yeah. Well,
it's tough.
North Korea is no different.
Jay's going through it.
Yeah, Jay's in the baby move phase though. He's all, balloons and celebrations right now, and candies, high quality candies.
North Korea sends missiles to Russia to test on Ukraine.
Okay, this is another sad bit of news. North Korea decides to get involved in the Ukraine-Russia war. Are we just calling it a war right now? I think so.
I don't know.
And they sent missiles. We all know, we've been talking about this actually. I think we talked about in the last Hot Tea, is or Ttuegunboricha, that Russia was using weaponry from North Korea in this conflict. And now it seems like people are saying or reporting that the missiles they're sending are tests. Maybe it's this new hypersonic missile too. Who knows? They're sending more armaments over to test on the Ukraine. In Ukraine, I should say.
Yeah. A test on Ukraine.
Yes. Yes, on Ukraine.
North Korea has to perform all these missile tests because they don't have a battle or a war to burn these missiles on to see their effectiveness. They do all these tests to improve their technology. Well, now they can battle test them to actual combat situations. And so you could imagine that these armaments will get incrementally better by an order of magnitude, I would imagine.
From the military perspective here, at least that was reported from this Korean newspaper, was that Ukraine as a test site for the North or NK's nuclear capable missiles.
Yeah.
As it gains valuable technical and military insights as Russia tests these missiles in Ukraine. Jay, talk to me about these ballistic missiles that travel from country to country. Where are we launching these from? Is this from anything? Is this from a boat? Is this from on the ground, like on a truck?
So our weapons are pretty capable. You can deliver them from a truck, a boat, et cetera, et cetera. What it sounds like, these are, the range is just a little under 300 miles. So it would have to be somewhere in country. So I'm guessing some body of water that's close, if that, or like some station or some truck that can deliver the payload. I don't know anything about this weapon, but just thinking about the range, it's not being sent from like Eastern Russia over to Ukraine. It's pretty short range.
Got it. But this, obviously this is a fear for South Korea in that this is the range from, any North Korean city to Seoul.
Yep.
Which is right over the border.
Yeah.
300 miles will easily do that trick. It's like if we wanted to launch a missile from here to Dan's house, we'll easily get there with this missile, sounds like. Not that we would do that to you, Dan.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you for your assurances. It's disheartening that North Korea gets to actually battle test their stuff. It's scary.
Yeah, it's scary, and it's just this in terms of the state of the geopolitical landscape.
Yeah.
Russia, already still. How long has this war been going on? You know what I mean? And now that North Korea,
is it 2 years now?
It's been too long.
Yeah.
In that, now North Korea is able to take advantage of this, terrible time.
Yeah.
Well, it's unfortunate that we have to end Ttuegunboricha on such a dark note or sad note. But honestly, the hot tea that's coming out of North Korea is usually like this.
Yeah.
Right? It's rare. Even the birthday celebration is. We got to listen to Rodman singing "Happy Birthday," and
which is very sad.
It is sad.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, we don't need that anymore. We're good with that. So, in the light of that, let us as a group here, again, going back to one of our social missions for this podcast is to create a bridge of culture to North Korea, whether that's speculative or not. How about each of us? All right, here's my challenge to us today. Let's come up with a headline for 2024 that we'd like to hear in 2024. It could be realistic. It could be speculative. It probably will be speculative.
It's
100%.
all speculation. Yeah.
But hopefully something that's within reach, maybe. Something that we want to hear in a Ttuegunboricha from 2024. I'll start us off.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here's my headline. North Korea legalizes BTS. Only BTS. I'm not saying that it's all K-pop. And I'm also going to put some caveats here, some sub-headlines. Not the dance moves, because those are capitalistic.
Okay.
Just the songs.
Just the songs.
And they'll bleep out anything that they feel like is anti-establishment.
Yeah.
But, like bleeping out the swear words. They'll just bleep out things they don't like hot like butter, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a lyric.
It is.
But they bleep out butter. They don't like butter. We don't have butter. Whatever it is. But
or margarine.
But
margarine's more
they let it,
capitalistic.
or they use ghee or something, whatever. They allow it. That's my headline. North Korea allows
That's great.
BTS.
That's a great one. I'm going to go North Korea no longer fires missiles over Japan. They'll go around Japan. They won't go over Japan. I'm hoping.
Targets the blue spots on the map, the water.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good headline. Yes, that would be nice.
That would be
and
very
that's
nice.
realistic, Hopefully, hopefully it could happen. Jay, you got a headline for us?
Yeah, I got one. Disneyland scheduled to open in North Korea.
Oh, wow.
2026.
Wow.
Oh, in 2 years.
2 years.
Disneyland Pyongyang.
Wow.
Okay.
They need some fun over there.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
They do.
That's tough, though. I don't know if Mickey is going to make it over there. What do you think Mickey is going to be? Remember the cartoons that we reviewed last season? What's going to replace Mickey? Is it going to be Squirrel and Hedgehog?
Exactly.
Could be, yeah, probably.
A militarized
What's
Mickey.
the South Korean version? Is it Lotte World?
Lotte World.
Lotte
yeah.
World.
Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna there. Maybe Lotte World is a closer step. Lotte World, DMZ, not inside Korea, but like on the border, right next to the Kentucky Fried Chicken that's on the border.
It's Popeyes.
Oh, Popeyes. My bad. You're right. It's Popeyes. I apologize, Popeyes. Didn't give you cred. That's a good one, Jay. I like that.
I like that.
I like where you're going. That's doable. Okay, I got another one. And now we're on a roll here. We got some good positive ones. We're gonna have North Korea blasts their own music back to South Korea.
Oh, there you go.
Where South Korea was doing the noise harassment, North Korea comes back sharing their culture. Play that jam. Yeah, right over the line, right there. And then like, hey, here's our music.
And then South Korea, in retaliation, instead of complaining about it, I would harmonize to that music. I would just sing along to annoy them.
Do it
even
right
more.
now. Do it. Harmonize to that. I think it's gonna be more of a remix of that, like a YouTube where they're gonna like auto tune it and throw it to like a Taylor Swift or a BTS song. It's gonna be like hot like butter. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna mix it right there. I think that's a mashup. There'll be a mashup.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so sweet, guys, if that happened. What if that happens? That's totally doable. They that's ripe for a viral video right there.
It is.
Well, we called it here first, everyone. So if you see later in 2024 this crazy viral video mashup of a Korean old school song and a BTS song, we predicted that right here. You heard it right here first on the Demystified Zone.
Ttuegunboricha. Yeah.
The mission of Crossing Borders is to show the compassion of Christ to North Korean refugees and their children. If you want to give, get involved, or just learn more, check out our website at crossingbordersnk.org.